You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Since 96, MLS has been the youngest soccer league. From 10 teams to 30, playoffs and parity. Battered MLS bring local guests to cover games. Analysis firsthand, not Google like other lames. Stats and recaps cover the West and East. Can't forget, we're on Sean Johnson, watch every week. DPs for the elite, Tam Gam gets you the vets. Playoff trees as American as it gets. It's time to turn off the world, grab a drink and let's go. We're battered MLS fans, so lock in on the show. We're battered MLS fans, so lock in on the
No
show.
question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Batter fans are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 55 of the Batter MLS Fans Podcast. I am your host, Daniel Gunnan, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
America is back. American soccer is back, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Is that a new intro? Yes, it is, Mr. Krabs. That is a new intro. From 96, 10 teams. We're up to 30 now, and we are talking about we've kind of gone on a bit of a hiatus. We were doing these once, even twice a week consistently, and then the Club World Cup started. Birthday season for me started, and things just got a little out of hand. So we've been off for about 6 weeks. So before we get into the 6 weeks that we missed, Club World Cup. Chris, your thoughts? MLS. Last time I was on here was 2 weeks ago with Will. I asked, do you think that the Club World Cup was a success for the MLS? He wasn't so sure. I think it was. What do you think?
I think it was a success. I think that as far as getting out of the group, with Inter Miami being the only one that got out of the group, I feel like it was a decent showing by Seattle.
I thought Seattle held their own. That was by far and away the hardest group.
Yes, and on top of that, I feel like LAFC just got kind of drawn a short stick. Got into the tournament a little late, just weren't ready, didn't have their bearings about them. They were playing against tough opponents as well, so I feel like we had a pretty good showing.
Shout out to Sports World Talk.
Shout out to Sports World Talk. Yeah.
And then Nolan, that's a KBD right there. That's him and his pen. I think if LAFC doesn't participate in that tournament, if they lose to Club America in that single one-off playoff game to get into the tournament, I think we look at this as a success. I think LAFC was the team that kind of made this look bad. They should have been that. Oh my God, what team was it from Tunis? Was it? There was a team that was considered the worst in the tournament, and everybody thought, okay, LAFC should win that game. They ended up losing it. They ended up not scoring until the third match. Yes, they ended up scoring in the third match. I think it was like towards the end of the third match. Like LAFC was the worst showing of the tournament for the MLS side, and I think if it's not for them, it's a clear, good showing. Just because they had one team get out of the group stage and they lost to a team that was basically mollywhopping everybody up until the final when they finally lost to Chelsea, and then Seattle, which held their own against the champions of Europe, the champions of South America, and Atletico Madrid, which is a Spaniard giant because it's either them, Barcelona, or Real Madrid. So I thought it was a great showing. LAFC ruined it a little bit, but like you said, they kind of got into the dance a little late. So I guess they get a pass.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
All right, so 6 week update. So like I said, we're gonna start coming in here consistently again, but and then shout out to El Bigote. Holy crap! Yes. We have a hard time. Our schedules are busy. We both got 3 kids and all that other stuff. But 6 weeks. So in those 6 weeks, things have moved around a little bit, Chris. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up the Eastern Conference, how it looks right now. We got Philadelphia at the top, holding strong. Cincinnati, Nashville finally became a consistent. They went on that 13-game unbeaten streak. Columbus has held their own. Inter Miami still hanging tough because they got a couple games in hand. Orlando fell off a little bit. I think, we'll get into the biggest surprises. So that's how things are looking right now. And in the West Coast, San Diego, the expansion team, is top of the Western Conference. Vancouver fell off a little bit after the Champions Cup run where they lost in the final. They had a rough little spell when they came back, but they are still Second in the Western Conference, you got Minnesota, LAFC, Seattle came back to life. They're the top five. Portland, Colorado, Austin, I don't know how Austin is there, but we'll talk about that in a second. And
Yeah.
San Jose, rounding out the playoff teams with Real Salt Lake, Houston, Sporting KC, Dallas, St. Louis, and Galaxy, all on the outside looking in. So, Chris, I ask you, and by the way, the two worst teams in the league right now, Montreal and the Galaxy. I
Both
ask you,
3 wins, I believe.
biggest surprise of the season thus far, or at least in the last 6 weeks that we've been kind of away from talking MLS on a weekly basis?
I'd say, look, the biggest surprise, if you were to look at, and I want you to put the standings up just for a second.
Which one's East or West?
Put the East.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the East first. The East, I think the biggest surprise, honestly, is probably the New York City FC. I didn't expect them to be in the top 8. I thought that Charlotte
Okay.
would be above them. I thought that Chicago and New England would have been above them. And Atlanta, obviously, we in the beginning of the season, we did predict them. Well, I did at least that they would be above, I'd say, the 6th space. So NYCFC's kind of surprised me a little bit. And then if you move over to the West, the team that surprised me so far, that's at the top, which I kind of anticipated, is San Diego. I kind of anticipated it, but a lot of people didn't because they didn't get any big names in the offseason other than Chucky. But other than that, those are my two teams that I'd be going with.
Well, San Diego being an expansion team, they have like a St. Louis run right now, but they have an actual attack. Anders Dyer is probably MVP front runner at the moment. He's having one hell of a season. It's a surprise that they are top of the league. Vancouver, for anybody that was with us right before our 6-week hiatus, we were on here with Will when we did our kind of our mid-year prediction, and I said I thought Vancouver would fall off a bit. I'm honestly surprised that they're still second. I thought they would have fell off a little further by now. But to me, the biggest surprise over the last 6 weeks is, and I see a couple people writing it, Charlotte. Charlotte I predicted to be that team that could possibly challenge for the crown in the Eastern Conference. And for a little while, it looked like that was the case. And all of a sudden, the bottom fell completely out.
Burned out. Yep.
I told you, I always thought that Saha was a bit overrated. I didn't think that he was going to be. I thought that team would go as far as Pep Biel would take them. Ajimang, I think, is a bit overrated also. I know he's not on the team anymore. He's now leaving on a transfer. But Charlotte, to me, is the biggest surprise over the last 6 weeks. And the fact that Atlanta is still as bad as they are is also a bit of a surprise to me.
Well, I'm trying to look here at the actual schedule for Charlotte FC and looking at some of the games that they've had. I'll tell you right now, with Charlotte, they won against DC, they won against NYCFC, but prior to that, they lost against Chicago, they tied against Orlando, lost against Sporting KC, lost against Philly, lost against the Red Bulls. So they haven't had really a good couple weeks. So it's tough sledding for them.
We had Danny Brands on with us not too long ago, and he was saying that he thinks that Dean Smith is the best coach in the MLS. I didn't agree. And I don't think he agrees anymore either, because what's happened here is wild to me. And then Atlanta, I mean, this has been going on since the beginning of the year. I don't know what, for everybody that loves Chris Henderson, I don't know what he did, but whatever he did, it didn't work, because that has been terrible.
Yeah, it has been.
So now when you're looking at these two conferences right here, so at the top, let's say the top five teams: San Diego, Vancouver, Minnesota, LAFC, and Seattle, right? And then we'll do 5 on the East also, just so we can have a 10. Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Nashville, Columbus, and Miami. So those 10 teams, would you say that there's any clear-cut top team that you would say this is the favorite to win it all? Because I think right now, in my opinion, I think it's wide open.
It is wide open, but at the same time, you can't discount what San Diego's doing. They're literally at the top of the Western Conference, and they have the least amount of draws in the entire Western Conference. So they're outright either beating you or losing. And for the most part, they have a lot of goals that they've scored. They're the highest goal scoring team in the West, and only I mean in the East as well. The only team that's closer to them is Miami, Inter Miami with 44 goals. San Diego's
Well,
a team I'd be scared of right now. That's actually the team that I predicted to kind of be the best in the West.
um, okay. When you look at it, points per game though, because they've played 23 matches. LAFC's only played 20. Let's say they have those 3 games in hand. If they were to win 2 of those and draw one, that's 7 points. That would put them at 42 points. They'd be tied for first.
Yeah.
And Vancouver has 1 game in hand, so and they win or even draw and they tie with San Diego. So San Diego isn't far and away ahead of these teams. But you saying San Diego, I don't think that there's any clear-cut team that I would say is better than any other team. Philadelphia, to me, although I predicted that they would do well, I don't see them as world beaters.
No, they're not clear
They
cut.
lost. Look, and I'll start with Miami just because they have 3 games in hand, and obviously people see that their roster, they're about to add Rodrigo De Paul, which we'll get into in a second. They assume that they would have that dream team or super team. I don't necessarily believe in their attack enough to say that they could consistently win single off playoff games all the way through. We saw what happened against Atlanta. When it comes to the playoffs, anything can happen. So I wouldn't say Miami. Columbus, Columbus can't beat Miami. Then you got Nashville, which tends to be inconsistent. Like the MLS is so interesting because you have Miami, they go ahead and they beat Columbus. Then Columbus goes ahead and they beat up on Cincinnati, and then Cincinnati comes and they beat up on us on Inter Miami. So it's interesting the way the MLS works. Any given game day, anything can happen. But I don't see any clear-cut favorites right now, and I think that this is going to be an interesting playoff run when it comes to October, November, because I really don't think that anybody you can say is a favorite right now.
Philadelphia also has the least goals against throughout their 23 games.
So
Philadelphia is a serious team as well.
And look, Soccer Daddy's pointing out that San Diego lost to Toronto.
Yes, they did. I was just looking at their schedule, but they score goals. Other than losing to Toronto, they scored 2 against Chicago. They scored 3 against Houston, losing. They scored 3 against Dallas. They scored 5 against Vancouver. They scored 4 against Minnesota, 2 against Austin. Like, they're scoring goals. They're a serious team.
And scoring against Austin isn't easy. Austin is terrible.
Yes.
Austin has played 22 games. They scored 17 goals. That is bad. And Brandon Vasquez went down with a knee injury, I believe. He's out for the year. So at Austin, a bad offense got worse, losing Brandon Vasquez. Uzuni, I know he had a nice goal the other day. I still think he is I'm not a big fan of Uzuni. Robert Taylor got traded over there, but he's not getting any playing time. I don't know what's going on in Austin.
Well, in Austin right now, they have 17 goals for in 22 games, like you'd mentioned, and they've allowed 24 goals, which is the lowest in the West, by the way.
No, defensively they're good.
Which is the reason why they're not the biggest losers.
Yeah. No. Defensively they're showing up. All right. Transfer window opens up very soon. Now, it's all but confirmed that Rodrigo De Paul will be joining Inter Miami. Now, some people are up in arms about how it happened, but this happened with Gareth Bale. This happened with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You signed them for a loan deal, and then you switch over to DP the following season. And then Justin Blair coming out with the banger saying that he still thinks that 9th place San Jose will win the Western Conference. Okay. I don't see it.
I did like San Jose, so I'm not going to front.
Well, my thing with San Jose was always that they did a cute job of getting a couple of players on the attack.
Goals. They got goals.
But their defense was terrible last year. It was by far the worst, and they didn't do anything to improve it. They brought a couple players from New England, which isn't the way to improve a defense.
You know what?
I don't believe in San Jose.
The best defense is a better offense.
Is their
It's
offense really that
America.
good?
It is. They got goals. They got goals. They got goals.
Sure.
So
So transfer
DePaul,
window, yeah. So the conversation has
how did
been
they do it?
is no, it's not so much how they do it. They got him on a loan up until the end of the year, and they're gonna put him on a DP contract and pay the fee in the off season. So it's pretty clear cut. Uh, it's pretty clear cut how it happened. My question is, do you think this what people are calling super teams are good for the league? Because some people are saying that they don't like that they think this is bad for the league.
I think aesthetically, they don't see the plan that Miami has in place with Busquets at some point retiring, DePaul filling in his space with the DP certification or whatever it is. That's what I think is happening, is that people just don't know enough and they don't look deep enough. But in my opinion, I think that this is great for the league. I think this is great for the league as a whole, and I think that other teams are going to start following suit. And I mean, I don't know what else people want out of the MLS at this moment.
I think it's great also. I think that they're setting the blueprint. Like, hey, if you want somebody and you have a DP spot that isn't open quite yet, get him on a loan for 6 months. And by the way, I think that the calendar will switch, and it's going to switch probably in 2027. So we'll have the same calendar as everybody else, and that'll change things up a lot also, because the issue is that a lot of these players' contracts are up at the end of next season when it's midweek, it's mid through the year for us. So it complicates things, right? That's why things are so wonky sometimes with this league when it comes to transfers. So that's going to fix itself in I think 2027 also, but we'll see. But other transfer news: Timo Werner supposedly might be coming to the Red Bulls. Then
That'd
you
be
have
great.
oh man, I forgot the striker from Al Ali supposedly might be
Well,
coming to Columbus. I forgot his name, but he's a stud. And Columbus, they need that finisher. If they can get themselves somebody to replace Cucho, which has been obvious that they've been missing, I think that would go a long way, because Russell Rowe hasn't been as
no,
consistent as
he's not
people had
that guy.
hoped. No,
And I just want to mention here, because people are mentioning it here, right? Sean is saying it's great for the league. Smaller markets can't do it, so they need help from the league. Smaller markets can do it. You just got to find the right guys to go over there. Not everybody
well,
is going to go to.
Columbus is
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
small market, and look, they're gonna get you're gonna get that uh, Abu Ali. So, shout out to Sean Callahan for that, and Soccer Daddy. Abu Ali, the striker, supposedly he's great. I know we had our Egyptian guest for the Club World Cup, came straight from Egypt, by the way. He was on a camel as he was talking to us, and he was explaining to us that he's a baller, he's a great striker, and if Columbus can go ahead and add him to the team, I mean that's something. So if you're getting top players, maybe not known names from European squads, but if they're top players from other continents and other countries, you're cooking something.
And Justin Blair saying Cincinnati is the second smallest market in the MLS. It's all about getting the right person. It's all about
Hmm.
working the right moves. And it's like what Sports World Talk says here. I think what Miami is doing needs to be copied and pasted with other teams.
And I
The
think that
one
the
thing
LG,
about the one thing about the ownership of Inter Miami is that they're stepping into the office and they're saying, we're here to play ball. We're here to make big moves. And you guys need to follow suit, because if
gotta
not,
catch up.
you guys are going to be left in the dust, uh, playing Philly ball with homegrowns and working, with the younger kids the whole time.
And Pablo Golasso is bringing up that Jackie Gaki is trying to leave Cruz
Yep.
Azul and come to Charlotte. Is my understanding is Charlotte are the ones that are trying to get Jackie Gaki back, which would be interesting, right? Because Charlotte and Atlanta have a bit of a rivalry, so having him back to play against Atlanta would be
Yes,
fun to watch.
that
But
would be.
the transfer window will be interesting. I am glad that there's more names that are being mentioned, and every coming transfer window, you're going to see more and more recognizable names that are going to be coming. I think my favorite thing about DePaul coming isn't so much that it's a recognizable name, but it's that he's only 31. And I know that maybe some people are like, oh my God, he's still in his 30s, but that's still your prime for a professional athlete. I would say that your prime is probably between what 27 to what 32, 33.
33. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still in the latter part of your prime. Yeah, you're on the wrong side. Maybe you're on the way down, but you're still in that prime, and that's what we need. We need more players coming in their prime, and if he comes and he's successful, and even more so next year in the World Cup, he plays well, and Argentina plays well, and they're successful, because I think that's a big part of it also. Because I've noticed when these national teams play, and an MLS player came to this league, and maybe they don't perform as well during the national team, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's the lack of competition. Even though when they go to play against PSG, they're not competing against absolutely anybody, even though their teammates are absolutely the best players in the world. But let's brush that aside. I think that gets a bad rep. But if Argentina can have a good showing next World Cup, that also would add to it. Because
Yeah.
look, Thiago Almada, Atlanta United. He's been playing great for Argentina. I think he's earned himself a spot on the World Cup roster next year and some playing time, because he's been playing well. So I think that the way that they perform when they go back to their national teams is also very important. And Justin brings up a great point. What's Toronto? Toronto's got money to spend, and they'll spend it too. They're probably going to do something big also.
And look, Bigote saying he's at Leti now, wild. And Sean is saying we're probably going to see a lot of 6 to 12-month loans.
Mm-hmm.
So,
look, I'm excited for this transfer window, and I'm excited for what we're going to see over the next year.
An American Rebel, 1997, shout out to you. It's the first time we've seen you around. Says the top team in the MLS right now is Philadelphia Union. Listen, I never said that Philadelphia Union was doing it wrong. The way that they've done it, they've been doing it right because they've been getting consistent results. All I'm saying is that I think the league is moving into a way where they want to get the bigger names and take advantage of this World Cup that's coming in a year. So,
but that's a good example, though. Philadelphia, top of the league, and they don't spend any money.
Yeah. I mean, they give guys hamburger helper.
They're doing it for those that, any of you that watch baseball. They're doing it at Tampa Bay Railway, where Tampa Bay doesn't spend any money, but they develop their youth. They bring it up. They perform well. Then they trade off some pieces, get some younger pieces, develop those, and it's like an it's a cycle that keeps going. But they keep competing. They haven't won it all, but they keep competing. So.
Kind of like the Philadelphia Eagles a couple years ago. Never really won it, but then they were always in the playoffs for some reason.
Philly also has one of the best academies. Look at Kevin Sullivan, yes. Quinn Sullivan, which to me is one of the more underrated players in the league. So, yeah, absolutely also. And Sean saying it's the Marlin way too. I don't know, but the Marlins aren't as successful as Tampa Bay.
As a matter of fact, you got a couple people from Philly on the All-Star team.
Of course, I mean, it's the top team in the league. So if you want to get into All-Star talk now, so All-Star game is next week. So let's start with the first question that I'm interested in what you think. The captain of the MLS team is one Lionel Messi.
Yes.
Last year, he decided not to go to the All-Star game. Yes. And then he took pictures and posted pictures of himself on a boat the same day of the game. What do you think is going to happen next week? Do you think Messi participates in the All-Star game?
I think he's going to be paying our boy Robbie Taylor a visit. Robbie Taylor's going to save him a nice spot in the bed because it's in Austin. Taylor's in Austin.
So you think he's going?
Oh, yeah, I think he's going.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's going. He blew off the MLS last year. He's captain this year. He blew him off already for the skills competition. Jordi Alba's in the skills competition.
Yes, he is.
How come Messi couldn't be there, huh? He's too big for that? He's too big to show off his skills. You're too big, Messi, to show your skill set. Get out of here. You have an obligation to do. You have an obligation to the MLS.
What does he have to no, but what does he have to gain? Yes. It's like LeBron never been in the dunk contest.
Too bad. No,
because there's nothing to win. Because at that point, all you're doing is going out there to be criticized. Because you either win and it's like, okay, well, you're the best, or you don't win. And everybody's like, look at this guy.
Well, but the difference is in the dunk contest, you can pick other high flyers who are better dunkers than LeBron James, because there
You
are
can pick
better
other
dunkers than
people.
LeBron James,
You can pick
or people
random people
vote
to do
them.
skill challenges.
Okay, but all right, but like Messi is the most skilled of the skilled. You're not gonna pick Messi for a defensive, games. You're gonna pick him for a skilled games because he's skilled. He's the skilled, the most skilled player in the world.
I don't know. I don't see the big deal. I wish they would just do away with the All-Star game.
I wonder if there's a contract written down where he signed and said, "I am not going to All-Star games," or is there a contract where he has to go and he's literally blowing them off legally? I would sue Messi.
Well, he's gonna bet you money that Messi plays against the Red Bulls on Saturday and he limps off the field,
No way, dude.
injured or not.
No way.
Why
Dude, we
not?
have Jordi Alba here. We have special guest Clint Dempsey. He's gonna be able to. He's gonna be able to be in the skill games with Clint Dempsey.
Messi is limping off the field on Saturday, and they're gonna say that they need to rest him.
He's gonna be able to share the field with Takaoka. Come on, Danny. This is an obligation.
Do you enjoy All-Star games?
I mean, I think All-Star games are fun. I like the skills challenge. I like they're
I
gonna be
like
doing the
skill
goalie
challenges.
wars. Goalie wars are good.
That's
Those were
fun.
fun.
The only thing that I like from All-Star games, I like the home run derby in baseball, and I like the 3-point competition in basketball. That's as far as I can watch All-Star games. The actual All-Star games, I find them extremely boring.
I mean, the All-Star game, nobody takes it super serious. And soccer, I imagine that they don't take it seriously either. So
No, I'm not good at watching All-Star games, but those competitions, the skills competition for the MLS, I probably watch. The game, I probably maybe I'll watch just because we do this show, maybe so I can talk about it. But I'm not a big fan of All-Star games. And Ramos and James Rodriguez are on the other squad.
they are. James is on the other side of the skills competition. Canales, Paulinho, like the MLS, the Liga MX is stacked, Danny.
I don't know. I wish they would just do away with the All-Star game. I don't see the point of it.
First of all, if I was Don Garber, I would sue Messi. I would force him to come to this MLS All-Star game. And if not, I'm seeing him in court.
Okay, but what if you push him out of the league that way?
You're not going to push him out of the league. You
He
have an
hasn't signed.
obligation to go to Austin, Texas.
He hasn't signed the new contract yet. You're gonna piss him off right before he signs his new contract.
But you know what? You could tell him, hey, look, people voted you in. You want to blow off all your fans worldwide too, buddy? Because you got voted in. It's not a coach's selection or a commissioner's pick. He was voted in. So he's not just abandoning the league. He's abandoning all of his fans worldwide.
Nobody gives a crap about the All-Star game.
Messi can buy Garber, I guess.
So All-Star games next week, so we'll probably come on here to talk about the All-Star game a little more next week in the transfer window for sure. Next week's matches, so a little more in depth of a show. Today we just wanted to knock the rust off because we haven't been on here in a while, so we wanted to put something together, and we're gonna get rocking and rolling again because it's the MLS takeover. So let's go. Chris, any final thoughts?
And he's going to disappoint ISO Speed. ISO Speed already doesn't like the guy.
You know, Messi shouldn't show up just because that kid's showing up. Because that kid's so annoying. Like, the fact that he really – and you know what really annoys me about the kid is that, unfortunately, the youth – I'm assuming around the world because I've seen he gets followed everywhere.
Oh, it's absolutely around the world.
But I'm going to talk specifically about this country. The youth in this country really find him entertaining for some reason. And they listen to him talk so much about Ronaldo and about him being better than Messi. So now the young kids in this country, for some reason, have never watched Ronaldo play because he's been in Saudi Arabia for the last I don't know how many years. So you got 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds that have never watched this guy play, but they hear ISO Speed talking about him. And I'm a principal at a school. I'm a principal at a school, and I have these kids come up to me and they're like, "Yeah, so Ronaldo's better than Messi," and I want to kick these kids in the face. Like, what are you saying? But it's ISO Speed. He's ruining the youth of America with his soccer talk. And the fact that you're inviting him to this event, Messi should boycott it just because that kid's going.
That's not fair to all the voters. We're
And
entitled to Messi going. And
and
he's
shout
not
out
going
to
to talk to press.
And shout out to Justin. If we're gonna have an All-Star game, it should be just an MLS All-Star game, East versus West, or however you want to do it. Messi and friends versus the rest of the people, like whatever, however you want to do this. But it should be that, because this whole playing against another league thing, I think is silly also, because then you end up robbing a lot of people of an All-Star spot.
Yeah, and Sports World Talk, it's a little too late in the show to talk about. We might bring this up at some point, asking you think Messi could bring changes in the MLS in the form of salary cap changes? To be continued, Sports Talk.
I thought it
Sports
would have
World
happened
Talk.
already. Honestly, I thought it would have happened last summer when they were announcing the changes for the upcoming year. We'll see. Supposedly they're gonna have a conversation at some point. They're gonna have a meeting. I hope. I would hope, but we just gotta wait and see, because we next year is one of the biggest years for uh, growth in this country, because we have the World Cup coming up next year. We have obviously Messi and friends still here. Hopefully, we get
Yes.
some more big names. Like, next year is a huge year for this country, this sport in this country, and this league in this country. And the
Yeah.
MLS needs to see that, realize it, and take advantage of it. And if they don't, it's going to be a big misstep, because this is the moment where you can really grow and become more visible to people that aren't watching yet. So I'm really hoping that they do that. And shout out to JMPL
To
fan,
Jamaican
the
Premier
Jamaican
League
Premier League,
fan.
yeah. And shout out to you for jumping on right at the end, because we're about to
The
close this
Reggae
out.
Boys got a nice squad. I follow
Yeah,
that. I follow their account, and Reggae Boys looking like they got a nice squad. I'm gonna bet on them again this year, Danny.
yeah. Well, yes, and then just real quick, huge year coming up. We just had the Club World Cup. We got the World Cup next year. We have the Women's World Cup the following year, all in this country. Now is the time to blow it up, like to blow up. Like, this is the time to really grow. Like, you had a big boost when Messi got here 2 years ago, and it's just flatlined a little bit, right? Like, it's just kind of stayed steady, like not a huge growth, but this is the next opportunity. And look,
Yes.
Justin Blair is a big fan of Jamaican Premier League, so shout out
Hell yeah.
to Justin, and look at that, bringing people together in the chat. Much love to everybody. So we're back. We'll be back more consistently, hopefully once or twice a week. We're gonna try to figure this out, get some more guests on like we've always been doing, and just have some fun, because it's time to talk some more MLS as the season comes. And Leagues Cup, my favorite, is coming up. So,
Yes.
any final thoughts, Chris?
That's it, brother. This was a great episode, and I can't wait to talk about Messi going to the All-Star game next week.
Yeah, we'll see. That should be interesting. Maybe we'll do like a watch along or something. All right. We
Yeah.
appreciate everybody that's listening on audio. If you listen all the way to the end, please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please leave us a like and subscribe. It is, yes, Tommy, you got here at the very end. Shout out to Tommy. Tommy will be joining us a lot on Battered MLS Fans, also moving forward. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe. Those likes actually go a long way in helping us out. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we're trying our best to keep growing. And for those of you in the chat, especially the ones that just got here late, go ahead.
Jeez.
You start this over. Make sure you hit that like button. We appreciate you jumping on with us, even though you weren't with us for the last 34 minutes. But we'll be back more consistently moving forward, and we'll be doing this again much more frequently. So we'll see you guys next week. So until the next one, have a good one.